All right, all right, all right, all right. Let's make sure we are. The red color. Hello, hello. Oh, there we go. Finally. There we are. What's going on with the YouTube? What is. Uh, uh, there we go. Beautiful. Audio's working now. And the thing is being not a pain in the butt. Yes, there we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, all right, all right. Let's see. Let's check over here. We're live on the X. Yes, we are. We live on the Twitch. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Hold on. Wait. Yep, it's buffering. Give it a second. There it is. Yep, there it is. Yeesh. Yeesh, yeesh, yeesh. Dear moms, can I have my my list and my water? Okay. Thank you, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. All right, all right. Let's see here. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Let's see. How is everything going? Let's take a look. Let's take a look over here. Make sure everything's all shared up. We're just sharing everything, ladies and gentlemen. Just getting everything shared up. How you guys doing? Happy Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys had a wonderful Tuesday. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. 3-day weekend for some of you. Hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I had a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys had a wonderful Martin Luther King Day. Hope you guys had a wonderful Martin Luther King Day. I know I did. And yeah. Hopefully you guys had a great time, had a good old time. Me, I got to just chill with the family. Got to relax, spend time with friends. It was good. I mean, Saturday, Got to spend some time gaming with the boys. Played some Space Marines with the boys. It was good. It was very fun. Very fun. And after that, Sunday, I got to chill out and spend some more time with family and my friends, you know? And then afterwards on Monday, I got to go. We got to have a nice, beautiful lunch. It was a little rainy on Saturday and Sunday, but on Monday, it was nice. We got to go out. We got to eat. I got to have a. I got to go have a what's it called? What's it called? It was basically like a breakfast hamburger, right? So it was like a hamburger with a hash brown and an egg inside of it. It was very delicious, very delicious. Massive burger though. My goodness, it was massive. But delicious burger. Like I could have that again. Yeah, I love me some burgers. I love me a burger. Like a good old like protein burger. You know, it's got the egg, it's got the beef, you know, a little bit of starch, some vegetables, a little bit of tomato, you know. Good for the stam. Very good. Very good stuff. All right. So, let's see here. Let's see here. Let's get myself all set up. All right. All righty. Yeesh. Got to get hype over some new upcoming video games with friends. Got to do that too. It was awesome. It was awesome all around. I got to have a good old time. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. We got quite a few baggers today. Getting bagger after a nice restful weekend. You know how it is. You know how it is, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's see. All right. There we go. There we go. Right there. Good morning, Alex. How you doing? He said TWG cooked earlier. Yeah, it did. Ran up as high as 194%. We called it for our private Discord, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see here. All right. So, let's see what we got going on. Let's see what we got going on. Let's see here. Boom. Boom. There we go. There we go right there. Bot right there. Just sharing it up. Give me a second. Putting out the announcements. There we go. Boom. Right there. Bot right there. All right. There we go. Boom. Right there. Get this over here. All right. Beautiful. 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 Thank you, DBL Moms. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Just getting myself all shared up. Everything's getting all shared and stuff. There we go. Share this on the YouTubes. Yes, there we go. Share this up on the Alex Martinez says, I'm doing great. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to have to jump on this Discord. My scanner has a 2-minute delay. Yeah, ours doesn't really have much of a delay. The scanner literally goes minute by minute. So multiple times a minute, actually. So yeah. And there's multiple scanners too. So we got that going on right there. So let me see here. Yes. You just get all this over here. All right. Okay, there we go. Get this sent over here. Announcements over here. Bop, right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got going on. Oh, let me fix this glitch real quick because there's a glitch. Give me a second. I hate when it does that. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal. All right. All right. There we go. Got that going on right there. Got that going on right there. Got that going on right there. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get this intro started. What's up, guys? It's Double Nicks, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL Nicks in the house, aka the Rainmaker, and I am here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Other times she gets shot out the cannon and she goes, wee! Other times she likes to go to RBs and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times she likes to go to Wendy's. Sometimes she'll go to Mickey D's. Other times she will go to Burger King. Other times, you know what, she'll just be chilling while she steals my lo mein. We call her DBL Moms. All right. So, say hello to the people, DBL Moms.
Hello to the people.
There you go. There you go. All right. So, yeah, that's what we got going on right there. So, let's take a look at some of the stocks that we called, ladies and gentlemen. Before we begin, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, that's what we got going on so far. Let's take a look at some of the stonks that we called, ladies and gents. Let's take a look at some of the stonks that we called. All right, so we called quite a few today. So we called IVF, which we called the stock prior to its 453% run on our private Discord. Join the private Discord by clicking the link in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section right over yeah. There we go. Right there. Yes, sir. So we call IVF, called the stock prior to its 453% run on our private Discord. And guys, you can join the private Discord by checking out the link in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. And SHPH, yes, it is indeed curling. It is up 144%. New high, ladies and gentlemen, new high. Look at that. Look at that. 144%. 157% now. 157. There we go. 157. SHPH now 157, ladies and gentlemen. 157. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Julian, good morning. It says made money on IVF and BTTC this morning. Yeah, man. There you go. Get your bag. Get your bag, brother. Get your bag. Get your stacks right there. Get them stacks. 164% now. Oh my. SHPH 164. Yes. All right. 169. SHPH now 169, ladies and gentlemen. What seems to be the hoopla? SHPH 169. Called the stock prior to its 169% run so far on our private Discord. Called the stock as well on the private Discord. Julian says, morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. Yes. All right. So, yes, we called SHPH as well prior to that 169% run, ladies and gentlemen. That 169% run. We called ICON called that stock prior to its 155% run. There we go, right there. All right. We called BTTC. We called BTTC prior to its 159% run. 159% run right there. Boom, right there. I don't see it on the pin comment. It was on YouTube. Oh, it is on YouTube. On the pin comment? Yeah, the pin comment. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it's right. Right. Did you see it? All right, let me see. Can you see it now? I see it now. Okay, good, dude. All right. I had to unpin and repin it. All right. So, yesh. All right. We called BTTC, ran up 159% on our private Discord. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times, ladies and gentlemen. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash. We called CCHH. Call that one as well. CCHH. All right. Call that one prior to its 166% run. 166% run. We called it on our private Discord. There you go. We called, hold on, a lot of runners today. We called NTCL, which called that on our private Discord, ran up a nice 89%. 89% right there. All right, we called TWG. Called TWG prior to its 194% run. 194% run on our private Discord. Call it there. And then we called SHPH, and that ran up a nice 169% right there. 169. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 200. Let's get it started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it started right there. Julian made the little running man emoji. There we go. Yeah. There's a runner. Runners everywhere. That's what we got. Runners galore. All right. So, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get started over here. Let's take a look at SGN. All right, SGN started moving up earlier and then kind of just started going back down. Not looking too schmexy there. SGN right there on the downtrend, needs to break the downtrend. It needs to break the VWAPA. SGN needs to break the downtrend and the VWAPA. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's take a look at SHPH. SHPH. All right, SHPH on an uptrend. It's starting to slowly curl its way back up a little bit again. Starting to slowly curl its way back up a little bit again. There we go. There we go. There we go. Looks like it's slowly moving its way on up right now. Slowly moving its way on up. Give me just a sec. 1 second. All right, as I was saying, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Just wanted to get some water real quick. Water. Yes. All righty. Woo! Had to get some nice water. Water right there. SHPH on a bit of an uptrend still. Was a bit choppy. Did have some resistance at around the $3.77 mark, but now seems to be climbing its way on up slowly but surely. SHPH on the uptrend and seems to be slowly curling. That's what it seems to be doing. Matter of fact, we're going to get some support and resistance lines right over here. All right, 447 right there. That is the resistance. 385 is the support. That's what we got going on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's see what we got going on. CCHH. CCHH. All right. CCHH seems to have shot upward over here and then found a bit of a resistance line at the $1.20 mark and then fell its way back down over here. All right. So CCHH needs to break above the pennant and the VWAPA for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. CCHH needs to break the pennant and the VWAPA. There we go. Needs to do that for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. IVF. Let's see how IVF is doing. IVF had a nice move upward, had a big old shot upward. It was a bit choppy at times, but it was still a nice big old shot upward. All right, now seems to have fallen below this descending wedge right here. Needs to break the descending wedge and break the VWAPA for it to be somewhat schmexy to Mya. IVF needs to break the descending wedge for it to be somewhat schmexy to me, but I will say this, the 9 EMA is moving downwards, so the 9 EMA kind of needs to curl with it. So we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. Let's get some support and resistance lines on it. Let's get some support and resistance lines right on the stonk right here. Bop right there. Bop right there. Has support at 293. Needs to break 344, 406, and then 507 for it to really be so much schmexy to Mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. IVF currently up 263. We'll see what happens with it. We shall see what happens. SHPH currently up 162. Seems to be curling towards the high of day. 167, trying to test that 169 high of day right now. SHPH seems to be trying to test the high of day a little bit. It's pulling back a little bit. SHPH trying to test the high of day. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. TWG. Let's see how it's doing. TWG had a nice high at 194%. Had a bit of resistance right over Mya at the $10.83 line right over here. Actually, around the $10.77 line. But basically, bop, shot up like a rocket right over here. Basically went, formed a descending wedge, needs to break above the VWAPA. 9 EMA needs to curl towards that VWAP as well. For it to be somewhat schmexy to me, you're going to put some support and resistance lines right over here. Bot right there has to stay above 647, needs to break through 741. Then 824, which is where VWAP is, 836, 953, and then 1143 right over here. So TWG needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAP right there. So BC, Julian asks, do you mind looking into THH? I can look into THH. THH, let's see how THH is doing. All right, THH as of now is below the VWAP, as of now, but it looks like it's trying to test the VWAP right over here. It looks like it's trying to test it. Has some Q3 earnings that are unconfirmed due in 14 days from now on to February 3rd before the market opens. So as of now, THH is trying to break above that VWAP over here, but it needs volume for it to really do that. So right now, THH looks like it's testing the VWAP. THH seems to have curled slightly and is testing the VWAPA. Needs volume to really do that, ladies and gentlemen. Needs volume. All right, let's see what else we got here. What else we got? Alex says TWG stalling. I got my eye on a close. Most likely my next buy. Yeah, there you go, brother. There you go. He's eyeing up his next prey there. He's eyeing up the next prey. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, as of now, TWG seems to be trying to make its way on up slightly right now. TWG it has to hold above 647 and break through 741. Needs to break those resistance lines. TWG needs to break the resistance lines and the descending wedge right there for it to be so much mexy to me. All right, CRVS. Let's see how CRVS is doing. Up 54%. Has news that Corvus Pharmaceuticals are trading higher after announcing results from Cohort 4 of randomized, blinded, placebo-controlled Phase 1 clinical trial evaluating saqualitinib in patients with moderate to severe atopic dermatitis. Okay. All right. So as of now, they got some news that they had some results from a medicine, I guess, that they're making, and some good results from a Phase 1 clinical trial evaluating certain medical issues within certain patients. So, as of now, that's pretty good news. That is pretty good news. CRVS looks to be moving its way on up slowly but surely. It is on the uptrend right now. It needs to remain friends with the trend. It is above the VWAP as well. So we got that going on right there. CRVS. Moving up and needs to remain friends with the trend and the VWAPA. Needs to be above the VWAPA. Yeesh. That's what it needs to do right there. SHPH had a nice run up 169. Now 190. New high a day. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Looks like it has support, or actually resistance at 486. 486 seems to be where it's got resistance. So it looks like it's possibly, SHPH did have a nice move up 190, broke the high of day. SHPH looks like it broke the high of day once again. Now up 196. That's how high it went. Now up 196%. 196. There we go. 196. There we are. Beautiful. Beautiful. Had a nice move up 196%. Thank you, DVO Moms. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give me 1 second. 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I'm back. So, as of now, SHPH looks to be pulling back a little bit. Could it be forming a possible head and shoulders? I hope not, but can keep my eye on it. It's now 193. Can it break above that resistance? Yes, it can. 199. 203. There we go, SHPH. Come on. Come to Papa. 203%. 203%. There we go. 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 So, as of now, SHPH ran up 203%. SHPH now up 203%. There we go. There we go, baby. There we go. 203%. 203%. There we are. There we are. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. There we are. All right, let's see what else we got. What else we got? TWG. All right, so let's see how TWG is doing. TWG looks to be testing that resistance line at 741. Can't break above the descending wedge, though. It broke above the 741 mark. I like that. I like that. I like that. Needs to still break that VWAP, and needs to still break that pesky descending wedge there. One sec. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going. Let's get a share party going. I'm looking at it right now. Oh, my. TWG seems to be curling. Curling a little bit. It broke the descending wedge. This looks like he's going straight for the VWAP. Can it do it? Can it do it, ladies and gentlemen? Let's get a share party going, by the way. Let's get to 700. 700. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, let's see. TWG currently climbing. TWG currently climbing its way on up. Give me 1 second. 1 second. All right. That's what it's doing right now. TWG climbing. And broke the descending wedge. Needs to break the VWAPA for it to be so much mexi to mia. All right. So, TWG needs to do that. Let's see about CRVS. Let's see how CRVS is doing. CRVS still climbing. Still climbing up on that news of the treatment for patients with moderate to severe atopic dermatitis. Okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. CRVS still climbing up 60%. There we go. Boom. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's see what other stunks we got. We got some requests here, too. Give me 1 second. 1 second. One sec. All right. 1 second here, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second. Un segundo. All right. There we go. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see here. Ah, okay. There we are. Somebody requested IREN. IREN. Hold on. Let's take a look at FRSX first. FRSX price spike has news that Foresight Autonomous Holding shares are trading higher after the company announced its majority-owned subsidiary iNet Mobile advances strategic collaboration in Japan with SoftBank, has unconfirmed Q1 earnings due in 14 days on the February 3rd before the market opens. So we got that going on as well. That is what we got going on. FRSX up 66%. Price spike on what seems to be, let's see, over here. Float is 4.2 million. Volume is 2.2 million, so it is low volume. So it has a price spike on some low volume over here, so we got that going on right there. All right. So FRSX. FRSX price spike on low volume. So we got that going on right there. That is exactly what we got going on right there. All right, IVF 270% and climbing. Needs to try to break that descending wedge and then break that VWAP. But right now, it's got a ways to go. Looks like it's testing the descending wedge, though. So I will give it that. IVF. Trying to test the descending wedge. There we go. IVF trying to test that descending wedge. BTTC. All right. BTTC up 72%. 72% right now. Looks like it is doing its thing right now. Has some movement over here. All right. Move down a little bit. Curl its way back up. And then kind of found a bit of a pennant right over here, just below the VWAP, which it fell below. So it needs to break that pennant, needs to break that VWAP for it to be so much mexi to mia. All right. BTTC needs to break the VWAPA and the pennant. There we go. All right. There we go. CRVS. Still on that uptrend slightly. Up 62% and climbing. excuse me. CRVS up 62% and climbing. There we go. All right. There we go. Let's get a share party going, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 1,000. 1,000. Let's get it. Looks like CRVS is climbing some more, up 66%, 68%, 68% right there. There you go. 70% in climbing, CRVS. CRVS. Yeesh. All right. Alex Martinez says, did you check CRVS? They have good news and solid movement upward. Yes, we're looking at it right now. 59 million float. I will say this, though. Yes, it does have a heavy float. I did notice that. CRVS has a very heavy float, 59 million float, low volume. It is moving up on very low volume as of now. I will give it that right there, too. I also got to let them know that, yes, very heavy float. I was delayed for a few minutes. The red dot was not for live was not red. Yeah. No, that happens. That happens from time to time. Yeah, you gotta make sure that's red-ish. But yeah, no. Currently, CRVS is currently doing his thing right now. It's currently doing its thing, looking schmexy doing it, but it does have 59 million float, 9 million volume. So you got to keep that in mind there. Heavy float, low volume. CRVS moving on up on low volume. So we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. Boom, right there. All right. Let's see what else you got. Let's see. ICON. There we go. ICON, as of now, going on the downtrend. Unconfirmed H1 earnings unconfirmed for 14 days from now on February 3rd before the market opens. So we got that going on right there. ICON needs to break the downtrend for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. All right. Let's see here. FRSX. Let's see how FRSX is holding. FRSX autonomous holding shares are trading higher after the company announced its majority-owned subsidiary iNet Mobile advanced its strategic collaboration in Japan with SoftBank. Yep, we already got that. Still on that price spike, though. FRSX has a 4 million float, 5 million volume. So the volume has exceeded the float now. Needs to stay above the VWAP. FRSX, there we go. FRSX needs to stay above the VWAP for it to be even more schmexy to me. So that's good. It's got news. It's got good news. That's what's got going on. FRSX hit 78%. Had a nice movement. There we go. RAPT. Acquisition play. Yep, that explains the consolidation afterwards. RAPT acquisition play. RAPT acquisition play. Very consolidated. There you go. All right. CRVS climbing still on that climb. Up 76%. CRVS up 76% on the climb. Up 76%. Boom, right there. All right. Let's see here. ICON. How's ICON doing? Still on that downtrend. Needs to break that downtrend. ICON still needs to break the downtrend. Still needs to break the downtrend. There we go. You got that going on right there. Ogbo, now Koro Oji, asks, how about RMTI? All right, RMTI. Let's take a look at RMTI. All right, so let's take a look over here. Rockwell Medical shares, all right, this is up 15%. Rockwell Medical shares are trading higher after the company reported a preliminary Q4 financial results above estimates. So we got that going on right there. So as of now, this stock seems to have rocketed up, but then dropped back down and then kind of consolidated below the VWAP. So we got this over here. Let's get the graphite pencil. Indecisive wicks down here. That's fine. Whatever. It shot up like a rocket over here, and then kind of just went and made a bit of a pennant right over here. Now, it shot up with like a rocket, dropped back down immensely, and it started kind of consolidating below the VWAP. A lot of indecisive wicks here. So something tells me that it's a bit consolidated below the VWAP. That's number one. RMTI, very consolidated below the VWAP. RMTI, very consolidated below the VWAP. Needs to break the pennant with some volume. All right, but beyond that, okay, let's take a look over here. The float is 35 million, so the float is extremely heavy. Volume is 12.69 million. So as of now, the volume is a lot lower than the float. The float is heavy, very heavy. All right, so we got that going on right there. We need to really keep an eye on this one, truthfully. But as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't have much in terms of volume right there. It does have good news that they reported Q4 financial results above estimates. That is great news for it. That is extremely great news. But that being stated, as of now, it is consolidated. It is consolidated. It needs more volume. The VWAP isn't there. All right, so it needs to break above the VWAP, and it needs a lot of volume because the volume is low, float is heavy. So we got that going on right there. Needs to break above the pennant and the VWAP for it to really be so much maxi to me. So RMTI needs to break the consolidation, needs to break above the pennant, and needs to break above the VWAP. Let's get some support resistance lines right over here. BOP right there. And BOP right there. So support lines for this stock as of now would be $1.11. Needs to break 118. Needs to break the VWAP at 121. Needs to break 125, 134, and then 148 for it to really be schmexy to mya. So, All right. So, as of now, let's take a look at CRVS. CRVS how's CRVS doing? Up 80% now, 80% and climbing, 82% and climbing. There we go. That's what I like to see. 83% and climbing. Okay, okay. CRVS up 83% and climbing. There we go. There we go. All right. All right, all right, all right. So as of now, CRVS is moving its way on up, pulling back slightly, but still needs to remain friends with the uptrend for it to be schmexy to mya. Yes, needs to remain schmexy to mya. Let me actually get some support resistance lines over here. BOP and BOP right there. Has support at 1331, resistance at 1493. So you got that going on right there. Yeesh. All right, so as of now, We got that going on for us. That's what we got going on. TWG. TWG. How's TWG doing? Looks like it's trying to curl above that descending wedge, but it is still, you know, still a bit choppy. Still a bit choppy. TWG still a bit choppy. All right. TWG still choppy and below the VWAP. Needs to break that VWAP, ladies and gentlemen. Needs to break that VWAP for it to be so much maxi to mia. Boom, right there. All right, let's see. All right. Let's see here. All right. Somebody requested IREN. IREN, not a lot going on in terms of volume. Has shares of crypto-related stocks trading lower amid the drop in price of Bitcoin. So not good news for this stock right here. Very consolidated above the VWAP. Not looking too schmexy. Is above the VWAP, but very consolidated. So IREN, very consolidated and needs volume for it to be so much maxi to me. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. Let's take a look at SHPH. How's SHPH doing? All right. SHPH, as of now, had a nice move upward to 203% and then proceeded to pull its way on back, ladies and gentlemen. Pulled its way on back. Needs to break this pennant right over Mia. All right. As of now, SHPH currently trying to test the resistance line. Trying to test resistance and break that pennant. Trying to test resistance right now. SHPH trying to test resistance right here. SHPH trying to test the resistance. There we go. Boom. ASST, crowd favorite, was requested of me. Let me take a look at it. Looks like it's breaking above the VWAP, but it still needs some volume. So ASST broke VWAP, but still needs more volume for it to be so much maxi to me. All right, BYND, another crowd favorite. Let's take a look on the downtrend right there. BYND needs to break the downtrend and the VWAP. BYND needs to break the downtrend and the VWAP for it to be so much maxi to mia. There we go. That's what we got going on right there. All right. Is currently down here in terms of that double top that it formed. Can it break above that little downtrend? And can it break above this VWAP right here? We'll see. We'll see. Open. OPEN. Very choppy. Needs volume. Very choppy. Needs volume. Open. Needs very choppy. Needs volume. Is above the VWAP. Is above the VWAP and is very choppy and needs volume to become so much maxi to mia. All right, let's see what else we got. BTTC. Let's see. All right, so as of now, BTTC needs to break the pennant, needs to break the VWAP, needs to do all that for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Not looking too schmexy as of now. Let's take a look at ORLA. Somebody requested ORLA. Let's see how ORLA is doing. ORLA, very choppy, low volume, not schmexy at all. ORLA, very choppy with indecisive wicks and low volume. Needs volume to break the choppiness. Yeah, not looking schmexy at all. Not looking schmexy. Somebody requested RR. Let's see about RR. RR, it's moving upward a little bit, but kind of just pulling back right now. Needs to break that VWAP. RR needs volume to break that VWAP, so it looks like it's low on volume too. Needs volume to break the VWAP. There we go. There we go. All right, so as of now, that's what we got going on here. How's IVF looking? IVF, let's see what it's doing right now. IVF trying to curl off that descending wedge. Can it break through to the VWAP? We'll see. All right, so as of now, IVF trying to curl off the descending wedge. IVF trying to curl off the descending wedge. All right, there we go. Trying to, at least. It's up 298. Had a high of 453 though, so it's got a ways to go before it could really start to impress me. Looks like it's trying though. It's trying to get to 301 right now, so it's doing that. That's good. BTTC still needs to break that pennant right there, but it is up 68%. I will give it credit where credit's due. BTTC still needs to break the pennant and the VWAP. Let's see. All right, so as of now, IVF 301, BTTC, still a pennant. Man. Let's see what else we got. Somebody said SHPH. We called SHPH. It ran up 203%. Called it prior to pretty much anything on social media, so we called it quite a while ago. All right. Let's see what we got going on. All right. So, as of now, all right, let's see here. So, as of now, SHPH seems to be trying to break the pennant, but it is falling below the pennant as of now. So, not schmexy there. 1 second, 1 second. Have an itch in the eye. Ish. There we go. Got it. All right. SHPH moving downward, not looking schmexy right now. SHPH needs to break the downtrend. All right, needs to break that downtrend because now it has officially become a bit more of a all right. So Boil, BOIL. Let's see how BOIL is holding up. Boil. Let's get a share party going, by the way. Let's get to 2,000. 2,000. We are just 9 minutes away from the bell going ringy dingy and making a wee woo. We are just 9 minutes away. Let's see how Boil's doing. Has Boil. Has Boil. All right. Boil currently moving its way on up 35%. I'll give it credit there. Boil is moving its way on up slowly but surely. Kind of consolidated, needs some more volume, but it is moving. Boil on the uptrend. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. All right, all right, all right. So, what other stocks we got here? IVF, IVF. All right, let's see here. IVF. All right. Currently on that uptrend right now. All right. Currently needs to haul above that VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. For it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. IVF. IVF. Curling off the down trend and climbing towards the VWAP. There we go. There we go. Boom. There we are. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1900. 1900, ladies and gentlemen. 1900. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeesh. All right. All right. All right. All right. So as of now, currently, IVF is up 319%. Trying to test that resistance. Needs volume to really break it through. All right. So as of now, IVF is okay. It's all right. Meh. It's curling. It's curling. It needs time. Needs time. Needs time to cook. TWG. TWG. How's TWG looking? Had a 194% run. Looks like TWG is trying to curl off that descending wedge as well and test that VWAP. So TWG looks like it's trying to do the same thing right now. TWG trying to curl and test that VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. All right. So as of now, TWG is currently on a bit more of a pennant than it is anything else, but right over here. And I'm gonna put this over here because it's now more so on a pennant. Still needs to break that VWAP though. TWG needs to break the pennant and VWAP. Curling needs to break the pennant and the VWAP for it to be so much schmexy to mya. There we go. All right. So, as of now, TWG looks to be trying to curl above the VWAP and curl above the pennant. Looks like it is. Looks like it is. TWG curling above the pennant and VWAP. Breaking the pennant and the VWAP. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. All right. All right. Alex Martinez says TWG is cooking, got in at $7.36. Well, congratulations. It's now $8.30. So congratulations. Hope you made a lot of money on it, Alex. Hope you made a lot of money, brother. A lot of money. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. We're just 4 minutes away from the bell. The bell. It deafens me. Yeesh. All right. So, as of now, that's what we got going on right there. All right, yes, 3 minutes to the bell. 3 minutes to the bell. 3 minutes to the bell, ladies and gentlemen. We got 3 minutes. TWG looks like it's trying to curl off that pennant right now and trying to break above the VWAPA. Looks like it's trying to do that. Let's take a look at SHPH. SHPH. All right. SHPH. All right. Let's see. Let's see what it do. It looks like it is going below the VWAPA. SHPH needs to break above the VWAPA. Looks like it formed a bit of a head and shoulders, truthfully. A little bit of a odd head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Looks like it's pulling back down, but can it break that descending wedge? Can it break it? We'll see. We shall see. Can it break above that descending wedge? We shall see indeed. Had a bit of a head and shoulders as well. So, SHPH needs to break the head and shoulders pattern and the descending wedge. Right there. Yeesh. All right. Let's see how IVF is doing. IVF is currently still friends with the trend. Still friends with the trend right now. But needs to break the VWAPA. IVF still friends with the trend. Just, yeah. Still needs to break the VWAPA. There we go. There we go. All right. So as of now, that's what we got going on right now. That is what we got. 30 seconds to the bell. Yes, sir. The bell. The bell.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. All right. Let's get started.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
5 seconds.
Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 2,200. The bell.
Now.
Yeesh.
The
It
bell.
made the ringy dingy. It made the wee woo. Yes, sir. There we go. All right. Hold on. Let me get all the way down here. Yes. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loot, the cash. Oh, the big bucks, I tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, you go over there, and you will gain access to all of our incredible scanners, such as the market mover scanner, which is currently on the screen right now. You get 24/7 access to it, where you can see all the stocks as they move. You see all the top stocks that we're keeping an eye on, the price, the volume, the float, the ticker, the percentage, whether or not the stock is moving up or down, the time frame which was scanned, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. So, yeesh. Tis very, very, very much so a beautiful thing right there. And also, ladies and gentlemen, you have access to the hyperlinks for the articles, or well, the tickers within this market movers scanner. So as of now, you can actually click on the individual links right over here, right? You click on one of them, and you can gain access to the chart, you can gain access to the news, you can gain access to pretty much everything in terms of the thing there. Oh, what's up? What's up? So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. You also gain access to the newsroom with incredible news articles, synopses of said articles, and to top it off, ladies and gentlemen, you gain access to the tickers that are affiliated with said articles. You click on the hyperlinks to the tickers within said articles, and you gain access to all the information from them that way. And to top it off, you gain access to the hyperlinks of the articles as well. You click on them, boom, you get this big old thing. We basically pull all this news from the stock market, bop, into one big old centralized area for your convenience and research purposes. Yes, sir. You also gain access to the amazing group of wonderful indelible patrons who love to build with each other, help each other build up as a community, like to build themselves up, etc., etc. And yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah. All right, so let's take a look over here. IVF seems to be curling above that VWAP right there. Curling up 384%. IVF curling. It's moving up nicely. IVF shot up. IVF shot up above the VWAP. IVF shot up above the VWAP. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right, TWG. Still trying to test that VWAP right now and test that pennant as well. TWG testing the pennant and the VWAP. All right. All right. CRVS. All right. CRVS had a bit of an uptrend going on over there. Looks like it is currently pulling back slightly for another curl, CRVS. Looks like it's trying to curl its way on up. Corvus Pharmaceuticals trading higher after announcing results from Cohort 4 of randomized blinded placebo-controlled phase 1 clinical trial evaluating saquelitinib in patients with moderate to severe atopic dermatitis. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. CRVS doing its thing right now. CRVS needs to break that pennant. All right. CRVS needs to break the pennant. There we go. All right. CRVS needs to break that pennant. IVF, how's IVF holding up? 381. Currently climbing, curling. But looks like it's pulling into some resistance over here. All right, there it is. Yep, 392. That is the resistance line. Needs to break that resistance line for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. IVF curling, but needs to break the resistance line. IVF curling, but needs to break the resistance line. All right. Consistency spike says COF $210 puts expires on now on to January 22nd after the market close. So as of now, COF very low float, very heavy price. Excuse me, very low volume, heavy price. COF needs volume for it to be so much Mexican to me out. It needs volume. Expensive stock. All right.